Waka, what's up, and welcome back to the channel for yet another FC Finch review. And today on the table, we're going to be doing a classic rewind of sorts while we wait for new product to come in. And we're going to take a look back at the Takara Tomy MP-39 Transformers masterpiece, Sunstreaker. And yeah, he's a bit of a full of himself guy, but he has every reason to be full of himself because this is what I personally believe one of Takara Tomy's finest hours in the Transformers masterpiece business. Arguably, again, one of the best official Transformers masterpieces you can buy. So let's kick off this review, and first off, we're going to take a look at the box real quick. So I'm going to move Mr. Sunstreaker off to the side, and of course, on the front, you do have the product speaking for itself. You have Sunstreaker in his alt mode, a nice Lamborghini Countach, very beautiful car, and of course, doing his running in the robot mode, Lamborghini logo up top, and Transformers Masteries. For once, I could actually say the Autobot by his real name, and then a bunch of Japanese text. Long life design by Takara Tomy, and on the side, you have Sunstreaker doing a very nice pose. You have MP-39 Sunstreaker. Moving to the bottom, a bunch of text in Japanese that I cannot read, and the Lamborghini logo, which I sort of can read, and hey, more Lamborghini logo. And then, of course, you have him in his LP500S Lamborghini Countach mode, and then on the top, you have Transformers Masterpiece. It's upside down, but not anymore, and on the back, you have all the things that this figure does, and a bunch of Japanese text that I cannot read, and his accessories right down here, and that is it for the box. And we'll take a quick look at his instructions, which again do have a bit of a tear in them due to some tape, but nevertheless, and they are like typical Transformers masterpiece instructions. You have several images. They look rather intricate to follow, but they go over his transformation, and then if you flip it around, you of course have all of his schematics. You have his car mode, his robot mode, him doing some poses, and then of course you have all his accessories, Lamborghini logo right up here, and then you have all of his accessories, all that he does, all that he can and will do. And that's it for the instructions. They look relatively easy to follow. And last but not least, we'll take a look at his collector's card with a very neat image of Sunstreaker on there, Lamborghini mode in the back, MP-39 Cybertron Warrior, and yeah, and then on the back you can see the images of the product itself. And of course you have his specs down there. He's in robot mode, he's in Lamborghini Countach S mode, and that is pretty much it for the card. So let's get a look at Mr. Sunstreaker, and there he is in his beautiful Lamborghini Countach mode. Just looks really, really good. Again, this yellow paint, that paint really, really pops. Just look gorgeous over and over, through and through. Got some nice venting detail back here. Got some chrome silver on the supercharger blowers. They look really, really good. Same thing for the spoiler. Just that nice chrome silver back there. Autobot symbol front and center on his boot. That is technically his boot. That's not his bonnet. And then you got that nice dark blue clear plastic for the windows. Looks really good, and it does a really good job of hiding the robot junk inside while still kind of clashing with the yellow. Just looks like got that nice Lamborghini-esque vent detail. Do have a nice silver paint on the wheels over plastic tires, and it does roll like a champion that he is. Clear plastic for the headlights, and actually does have a very headlighty texture from this era, so it looks really good. Of course, the Autobot symbol, and then of course you got a black plastic here for the front fascia, and then some venting detail up front. If we move to the back, you can see he's got some silver for the exhaust ports, looking good. It says Countach on the back, and Lamborghini absolutely love that. It does have some red clear plastic for the taillights. We're going to look at those in just a little bit when I show you something else. And then of course, if you flip him over, you can see really nothing of the robot. I mean, just lots of junk down there, which is, you know, like any Lamborghini. It just looks, again, really good. Doesn't look like he transforms at all. He does have a few features in this one. Some of them we're going to go over right now. So firstly, his doors, they do open, and you can, it's going to make a lot. There we go. And you can open that up. It doesn't reveal anything inside. You can't sit somebody in there. But, you know, if you look at him like this, it does really sell the illusion that he's just a toy car. Additionally, you can open the hood. Now, the hood has a trick to opening it. You want to get a finger under here at the front and then just kind of push it up, and then you can kind of push it forward just like this. And there you go. He's got his, or not his hood, but his trunk. He's got a front because this is a Lamborghini, and that back and open up just like that. And additionally, one last feature is you have these buttons up here, and you push up on those, and he's got pop-ups! And just too cool. So he does absolutely all the Lamborghini things that you can do. And he does actually have one other feature that we're going to go over in just a little bit. But first I want to go over accessories, so we're going to go over that real quick. So let's talk about his accessories. And he does come with quite a few of those, some for robot mode, some for vehicle mode, and some that are useful in both. And one of those useful in both is going to be his flare gun, his primary weapon, so to speak. It is a very rifle-shaped gun. It is painted in a very nice silver with the bare minimum of detail for that G1 tune accuracy. Got some venting detail here, some extruded detail, but overall very plain Jane. Does have some paint chipping from the years of usage, but still overall in good shape, and you can store that on his vehicle. He does have a port right here. Just plug it into the top just like that, and that looks as ridiculous as ever, but it's good to know that you can if you so desire. This will probably be the only time I do it, but nevertheless. And of course you can take that out because he does come with a minifigure. He comes with Mr. Chip Chase, and he is overall very kind of plain looking, very nicely painted, at least for his clothing anyway. He doesn't really have much of a face. You can see his glasses and his face molded in there. Of course his jacket's painted in brown. He's got his trousers and his shoes painted, got his hair painted as well, and he is removable from his wheelchair, which is detailed very nicely. But of course he isn't an eternal sitting pose. He's just kind of a statue, so you might want to just keep him in there. And you can kind of make a little diorama as though Sunstreaker is taking him to the science fair in style, which looks really, really good. And lastly but not leastly, for his accessories, he does come with, it's not really an accessory, but more like a replacement part. He does come with a spare set of side mirrors, which is good because, as you can see, mine fell off long ago, and they're done in a nice yellow. They have the silver chrome painted in for the mirror. It does look really, really good. And just in case you need them, or you can leave them in the box because they may fall off anyway. And that is pretty much it for his accessories. And another thing he can do is he does have a few bits of preliminary transformation. He can change his look a little bit, and the first little change you can do is very minor. You just split his rear wing, and you can pull out this little cannon right here. This is his anti-aircraft launcher, and I believe we recall him using this in one of the first 2 episodes where him and his bro rescue Trailbreaker and Spike from being chased by Laserbeak, so that is really cool. And if we put this down all the way like this, we'll bring his wing back to center and connect it. You can actually make his superchargers disappear and give him a more of a standard Lamborghini look. No, not by parts forming, but by transformation. So what we want to do for that is you're just going to take these and fold them up just like this all the way. Next you want to do is you want to open the door just a smidge, and you want to kind of bring these out. Same thing for the other side. Just open the door just a little bit and bring these out just like that. And next you're going to do is you're going to pull this up and just pull back on this entire assembly. It will unlatch itself, and then you want to come back here. You're going to fold these panels down. That's going to give us some room to do what we have to do next. And then what we want to do is we're just going to kind of fold this around just like this. Just fold it in and fold it around. And it folds on this hinge right here just like that. And firstly, what you can do is when we bring this down, we're just going to bring this down, and you can bring these back up. Same thing for the other side. Bring this back up just like this, and you can kind of start bringing this down and sending it down just like that. And sometimes the anti-aircraft gun likes to raise itself up. There we go. And you just lock it in just like that, and we can lock it in on that side. That's squeezed in. Same thing for this side. And then what we can do is we can just open the door just a little bit and put this right back where it was. Make sure the door tabs in right like that. Same thing for the other side. Just open the door just a little bit, and then we can bring the door in, and you just want to make sure that the door tabs in on this side just like that. And there he has more of a standard Lamborghini look, and you're treated to more of that beautiful yellow paint. You got the venting detail for where the engine is. No back window. Actually, I'm not sure if one last step. Open these up. Same thing for the other side. Open this up It's kind of tight, and just fold it in and down. And yeah, you can see that completes the look for the taillights. You're changing to more kind of painted red plastic for the brake lights. It's got that standard Lamborghini look, those iconic taillights, which is pretty cool that you can do that. And yeah, so there is his alternate mode. Oh, also these intake details right here, got some venting details. And yeah, so just wanted to point that out. So overall, really, you can have him in any which way you desire in his Lamborghini mode, and that is pretty cool. And before we move on to transformation, we'll do a couple quick vehicular mode comparisons. Yes, a couple, because we're going to bring in MP-18 Streak, our usual comparison right there. And you can see how that looks. And I guess that would look pretty close. I'm not too sure about the size of both these vehicles relative to one another, at least visually anyway. But, you know, they are two cars from a relatively similar era of time. So we can see how they look together. And, of course, we will bring in, we can't do Sunstreaker and not have his brother. Yes, the dated MP12 mode, but that alt mode still goes to 11. And either way, they both look good together. The Lambros at it at last. So let's get him transforming up into his robot mode, and this is somewhat of an involved transformation, but overall relatively simple. Just got to watch out for a few key steps. So let's get underway. So we're going to go and do the first step here. We're going to open up the door real quick, and then we're going to pull out this panel, just like when we were changing over his back end. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pull out the leg. Now the leg attaches here, and then it attaches right down here. You're just going to kind of want to pull this out just like this. You're going to kind of bring it down on the thigh hinge. While you're doing that, you can rotate the leg in like this and just bring it all the way down just like this. You can bring up the hood a little bit to give yourself some room. And next, what we want to do is you have the door right here. You're going to bring it out on this little panel right here. You can see it folds in and out. You're going to bring it out, and you're going to fold in the window, and then you could fold this down, fold the door down, and then just fold this right back in just like this. Next, what we want to do is you can bring this down. Additionally, you could bring this piece down just like this, fold this in. That'll fill in the lower leg, and then you can kind of rotate the front of the car down on this hinge right here. Next, what you can do is we can fold out the heel spur just like this, and what we want to do is we want to bring in the wheel just like this, and then we want to push it outward just like that, so it's sitting like that. And then we could take the leg and we can fold this all the way around just like this, and that'll completely fill in the leg. And then what we can do is we can kind of rotate this piece over just like that. That's going to be his little pelvic protector area, and that is going to be one leg all done. It's going to be the same operation on the other side. I will do that off camera. So now you can see we have him in a very awkward standing pose, but he is standing. So let's start and continue on. Now we're going to pull up on the back end, and except this time we're going to go all the way. So we're going to detach the back end, and we're going to bring it down on this hinge right here, just the whole thing down, and that'll unlock a whole bunch of stuff up here. Next, what we want to do is we want to take these panels right here and flip these down just like this. You can see they're flipping down a little tab. Same thing for the other side. Flip this down just like this, and there we go for that. And next, what we want to do is we just kind of want to start rotating the roof line around just a bit. Rotate it up just like this, and that's going to unlock this whole area here. And what we're going to do is we're going to kind of rotate this all around to the other side just like that, and then you could close this up just like this. Next up, what we want to do is we want to start bringing down his little side handles. They just come down on these hinges right here, and we're just going to kind of bring these down just like the same thing for the other side. Just bring his arms down, and before we do anything, we can kind of lift this up, because what we're going to do is we're going to push up on this switch right here, and that will bring up his head. It'll just kind of click into place, and then we can fold down the entire roof line, and that will tab in just like that. And there we basically have his upper body all done. And then to get an arm all done, what you're going to do is you're going to bring this out. You're going to rotate this piece around just like this, bring this down, and then what you want to do is you want to open up his hand. You're going to open up this panel right here, and then you're going to bring out the hand, and then as you're doing that, you're going to rotate the arm out on this double hinge right here, and then you can kind of bring this down just like this. Make sure that the hand stays out, and you're just going to bring this down and bring it all the way back, and it's going to lock in right over here. And then you could fold this down just like this, bring this forward, and there you have one arm all done. I'm going to do the other one off camera. So we have him looking like most of a man, and what we can do, we'll flatten this out, and what we can do is we'll just tidy up his backpack. So we're going to be doing a lot of what we did to get it into his non-supercharger mode. So you just kind of want to fold these in right here, and in similar fashion, what you want to do is bring these down just a little bit, and you want to fold these in just like this. And this is rotating from the back end on this hinge right here. Just fold these down, and so we can rotate the superchargers all the way around, similar fashion to how we did before. Just kind of rotate them in and all the way around just like that, and bring it in just like that. Then we can actually bring these back up just like this. And what we want to do next is we want to take these two bars right here and just fold them in. Same thing for this side, just fold it in. And then what we want to do is you want to bring this piece around just like this. Same thing for the others. Oh, there we go, folding that down. And you just want to fold this in just like this. And now what we're gonna do is you're gonna take these and just fold them all the way in just like this. And now what we can do is we're going to rotate this whole back. It just rotates on this hinge right here. We're gonna rotate it all the way around just like this. And what we want to do is, before we bring it down, we're going to split the rear wing, and then we're going to bring it around just like this, so the more narrow side goes in first. And then what we want to do is, as we bring this down, we're going to work the wing, and this is kind of hard to show. We're going to work the wings behind the glass just like this. Just work it kind of in just like that and bring it all in. And then you have this little hook here, and it's going to attach right onto here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to bring this up just like this, and that will lock everything in just like that. And for the last step, we can kind of bring his legs around and bring this panel up just like this, and just kind of lock in that little butt plate right there on his back end, and get him all straightened out, get him looking head high like the self-absorbed person that he is. Like magic, there we have Autobot Sunstreaker in robot mode. All right, so let's take a look at Sunstreaker in robot mode. And keep in mind as we look through him that mine has been around. This is one of my first Masterpiece Transformers, so he has had some wear and tear over the years, a little bit of paint scrapage, because of course I do play with mine. But overall, he's held up really well. Again, beautiful, vibrant yellow paint all over. Just looks really good. I think the black is just straight up plastic, but it really does clash well with the nice paint. Autobot symbol, nice front and center, just looks really vibrant, really pops all over. And then of course you got the clear plastic on the faux roof line and the windows on front there. Looks very good though. And overall, I think Takaro really nailed Sunstreaker's more lithe, more fabulous profile. Looks really, really good. Again, got the nice muted black colors on the shins right here. And if we get on the face is done in a nice silver. Absolutely love the face sculpt on this thing. The mouth just looks extremely natural. And then of course you got that nice blue for the eyes. Just looks really, really good. A little bit of the yellow and black on the ears. The helmet, I believe, just done in black plastic, looking really good. Then of course you got more of the chrome silver on the back. And if you move around to the side, you can see he's filled out really well. Again, no real open areas, no gaps of any kind. Looks really good. And if you move to the back, he's messy, but I think it's a good kind of messy. I mean, he looks busy in a good way. He looks more robotic. He doesn't have this I don't think he deals with that boring, tune accurate look where there's not enough going on. There look like there's car parts hanging off him. He looks like an actual transformer, like a robot that just birthed out of a Lamborghini. So I actually don't mind this. Some have argued that this is messy. Does have quite a big backpack. I don't disagree with that. But overall, I think it's a good kind of busy that actually gives him a little added character and a little added flair. So overall, a really solid, really good design. If we talk about his articulation next up, his head is on a ball joint. He can look way up, but you do have this hinge right right here. You could bring it up and he can look way up just like this, even do a few laying down poses. He can also go all the way around as ball joints usually do, so there is that. The arms, now the arms, they do have a hinge right here, so you can get a nice butterfly. Look at that, that's a really good range of motion right there. And then of course they do rotate around on a universal hinge right here, or you can come out on the hinge right here. It does kind of pull these up from time to time, but that should give you an awesome range of motion. And then of course he does have a bicep, so a little bit tight on mine. And then he has a double jointed elbow for the full, oh yeah. Moving on to his wrist, he does have a rotating wrist. He has a thumb on a base hinge, and the rest of the fingers are on a base hinge. The base hinge for my other fingers has gotten quite loose, so just FYI with that. Moving his arms out right away so I could show off his nice. You want to hold in on this back hood piece right here. He does have a very nice waist swivel, and he does even have an ab crunch, a little bit of one, just enough to give him some more character. The thigh rotation, he does give you a rotation on a ratchet, excuse me, I got my joints mixed up, and it does give you a nice fusion upper kick. And if you move it to the back, he comes out to the back and he gives a fusion back kick all the way back. And then you can kind of cheat a little bit. He can only go out this much because it hits on here, but if you cheat a little bit, he can get you a fusion side kick in a very awkward position just like that on a ratchet at the knee, and he can get you all the way over 90 degrees. And then of course if you come down to the thigh, he does give you a very nice thigh rotation, and he does give you a toe tilt forward, a little bit of a heel tilt back, and then of course he does get you some inward sides. You get all those nice poses, and yeah, looks good and definitely has the moves to back it up. So really good articulation from this figure. Moving on to his accessories, and some of these you know, some of them you're meeting for the first time. So let's start with the ones you know first, and I'll bring in his flare gun. You can see he does have a nice tab on the handle right here, and just like most Masterpiece bots, he's got a slot in the palm of his hand. And what you want to do is you want to put this in his hand, and you kind of want to bring his fingers in and just push it into the slot, and he will hold that quite firmly in his hand just like that. But wait, there's more. He also comes with what do they call his electron pulse gun, and this looks like it might be painted a very nice charcoal black, very G1 undetailed and plain. But what you can do is you can see you've got two tabs on the handle right here, and similarly into the other hand, you can just insert this and plug it in just like that. Fold the fingers in, and yeah, he can dual gun it, which is pretty cool. But of course he can store both these guns on his person. So let's store his electron pulse gun first. And what you want to do is you're going to take his pulse gun, you're going to fold the handle back like this, you can take the barrel and fold it back like this, and you can use these tabs again. And what we can do is you can bring his leg out. I believe you can do this on either leg. You just open this panel right here, open this panel back up. You notice you got a tab right in there, and you can just bring this in and you can plug it into the panel, and you just fold this in and it fits nicely inside. Cover this up, and that is exactly how I like my weapon storage: out of sight, out of mind. You'd also store his flare gun, and what you want to do is you see on the flare gun you have a tab on this side, and if you turn Mr. Sunstreaker around, you have tabs right here and right here, and you can just well, you could throw it, or you could just tab it into the back like so, and he will hold that nice and firmly. And again, not intrusive at all. That is totally awesome how he just stores those guns away. He also does come with a couple alternate faces. So he does come with his angry screaming face, which is very nicely done, a very good facial expression. Again, I love how the mouths on these faces are. It looks really good. And of course he comes with my personal favorite, the kind of devious smile face. Definitely one of my favorites, and then again, that looks really good. And what you do is you just kind of want to bring his head up, and you're just going to pull up from the bottom. Just has a nice tab slot right in there, and you can just take the alternate face, and you'll see it's got a tab right in the back, and you just plug that in just like so. And yeah, he's got that very nice devious smirk on the face. So wipe that smirk off your face. And then of course he does come with a another nice little gimmick. He comes with the mask from Hoist Goes to Hollywood, or Moist Goes to Hollywood. It's done in a very nice green with little googly eyes, looking really, really good. Got the little ears there, and you can see that this has a couple tabs on back, and all you're going to do is you're just going to kind of plug this in just like this. This actually plugs in without even tabbing into anything, and just kind of attaches at the bottom as well. And oh, his rifle's falling off from the back. And you can totally give him his alien face, and that looks really cool as well. Just, again, it's kind of a one-time, few photo shoot gimmicks, but it's still cool that they give you the option. I love all the characters that come with these alien faces. And that's pretty much it for his accessories. Quite a bit to keep you occupied. So let's get a few quick robot mode comparisons out of the way, and we'll start off with the Takara bots. We'll bring in MP-44 since he's always kind of in these, and we'll bring in the dated but still decent looking MP-12 sideswipe mold, especially because they're brothers, so brothers gotta stick together. And overall, I think he fits the masterpiece aesthetic quite nicely. Looks really good next to his Autobot brethren. And for one final comparison, since it's in fashion these days, let's bring in a third-party bot. We'll bring in Fans Toys Phantasm so you can see how they look out together. And overall, they look pretty good in my opinion. Phantasm might be a little bit taller than MP-39, but overall, I still think they look decent standing together. And there we go for a few comparisons. So let's summarize, and there we have it for the Takara Tomy Transformers Masterpiece MP-39 Sunstreaker. And straight away, this is an oldie but a very goodie. This is one of the best, if not arguably the best, offering from the official Transformers Masterpiece collection, and I absolutely mean that. Beautiful alt mode with beautiful paint, tons of display options. The transformation is involved but still fun and enjoyable, and the robot mode is chef's kiss to die for. He's fills out the profile nicely, has that solid animation look, tons of articulation for a lot of awesome poses, and very stable overall. He has enough junk on him to be interesting and look robotic and mechanical, and I absolutely love that. There is a lot of character in this mode and tons of accessories to go with him. This is one of those figures that it looks like there was a lot of love put into the design of the toy, and it absolutely shows in every single way. And that is exactly why I collect the Masterpiece collection, because the amount of love put into the toy. And that's it. I do highly recommend MP-39 if you are a Masterpiece collector. He is hands down the one official Transformers Masterpiece that I will 100% recommend over any third party, the few third party offerings that there are at the moment. As far as getting one, I got mine from Big Bad Toy Store back in the day, many moons ago. He was about $200 on there. He is no longer available. You may have to resort to eBay, and I'm not sure how this figure is selling on the secondary market or what he's going for. I do see the KO pop up at Show Z from time to time if that's more your jam, so definitely check that out if you are interested in that. And that is going to conclude this review. So if you found this review fun and informative, let me know by hitting that like button down below. That helps me out, and I do greatly appreciate it. Also, if you are not yet subscribed to my channel, I urge you to consider subscribing to me. I do review Transformers, both third-party and official spectrums, quite regularly. I'll put a link in the description down below to my official Transformers Masterpiece reviews so you could check those out. Thank you so much to the 500 view that already are. I definitely greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for following me on this journey. And that said, I have been FC Finch. Thank you so much for watching. Good night!